richest man on earth, Carlos Slim. What's it like to be worth more than $50 billion?
I think that anything that has privilege has responsibility.
The Mexican mogul tells us how he made it, how he keeps it, and if he ever fears for his safety.
We move with security, yes.
And believe it or not, he lives a lot like the rest of us. We'll show you a humble, unassuming tycoon, the extraordinary Carlos Slim, for the hour next on Larry King Live. It is an honor to welcome to Larry King Live, Carlos Slim. He's #1 on the Forbes 2010 list of the wealthiest people, and we're honored to welcome him to our studios here in Los Angeles. How did it feel when you were ranked #1?
Thank you very much for your invitation. Good day, Larry.
My pleasure.
Not any kind of difference before, after, during is not important, I think. What is important is what you are doing and how are you operating the companies that you are managing, and where you have the investments, and many part of the public is also investing in these companies.
So it was not a particular honor?
No. It's not a championship, it's not a competence. The competence is in your sector with the other companies, not looking to have some kind of records in this issue.
When you topped the annual richest list back in March, they listed your net worth at $53.5 billion. Is that about right?
I really don't take care about the valuation. What they do is to know how much share of the companies that we have investment and we are managing has the market price, and the market price change every day, all the time, with a lot of volatility, and you cannot stay evaluating and making balance sheets about what is happening. What you are taking care is about the operation of the business, the developing of the business, the investments of the companies, the technology you are using, the segments you are in, how you are how are you managing the...
How many companies are you involved with?
The main companies are the thing, and then each company can have many other subsidiaries, just like a formal way to manage. We are involved in the financial market with a financial company. That means full service of financing, investment banking, commercial bank, and insurance. I have 45 years that I founded the company. It was 3 or 4 days ago that it was 45 years. We are involved in telecommunications in all Latin America and in United States. In US, we have also a operation. And we have another holding that is in retail and mining mainly, and other industrial sectors.
Well, how do you stay on top of all of that?
Well, how can you manage and how can you be on top of the things you do? I think when you are involved in a business, first of all, you need to know the business. And after that, you know the business, you can read, the numbers tell you what is happening. You can read with the numbers if the things are going well, if are not going well. You make comparison with your competitors. You look the international references to try to achieve the best reference internationally. And you are following the business, not necessarily going to the plants if it's a industry. It's good to go to the market to see what is happening and what are thinking people, but you can see with the numbers many things. The numbers talk to you.
Were you always good with numbers?
Yes. I think some people are very good with letters, and others have numbers that you can manage numbers in different ways, and you read the numbers and you understand what is happening in the companies.
It's estimated that you and your family control more than 200 companies. You're one of Mexico's largest private employers. You're in control of so many things. Do you feel, Carlos, as I've gotten to know you, do you feel enormous responsibility?
Yes, I think that anything that has privilege has responsibility, and all people that is clear about his responsibility has also compromise. All this is responsibility and compromise. It's compromise and responsibility for not only for me and my family, but also the management team should be have this responsibility to know that the importance of what we are doing, and that at the end of the day we go out with nothing. We are temporarily managing this wealth. We don't take anything when we pass away, and we need to do with this sense of responsibility.
How many people work for you?
Well, I think now it will be around 250,000.
All over?
Latin America, Mexico and Latin America.
How did it all start?
Well, when I was very young, maybe 12 years, I began to make investments.
12 years old?
Yes, maybe a little before. And first I opened a check account. I looked at it. It was minor when I opened my check account. But I looked at it was nothing of yield, because I bought some bonds. It was a bond, and I understand when I bought this bond, that was duplicated in 10 years. I think it was 10%, and then I understand compound interest in those times. And then I think at 14 or something like that, or 13, I bought stocks. Because I follow investment, but also my father that has already some strokes, some infartos, he began to make us have order with the money. In Mexico we say to give a Sunday, to give a Domingo. That means that you have a money for the week to spend in
allowance.
The week. Yeah, allowance. And he has caused to have in a small copybook what was our income and what our expenses, no? And I think I was ordered, I never need money. My family used to have money when I born. We have a big house, and we have my father worked very hard, and for 1920 he was already a wealthy businessman.
So you were born into wealth.
Yes.
But you took it way beyond that.
Yes.
We'll be back with Carlos Slim, the richest man in the world. Regular guy. Don't go away. Carlos Slim owns one of the oldest hotels in Mexico, Hotel Genève. Here's a tour of that hotel. Foundation, and then we'll get into a lot more of the background. The empire is in the telecommunications company Telmex, which he acquired in 1990. That's when Mexico began privatizing its national industries. A decade later, he spun off the cell phone business, American Mobile. It's one of the largest companies in all of Latin America. He also owns Sanborn's, that's Mexico's major retail outlet and biggest restaurant chain. His interest includes one of Mexico's most important banks, an airline, a mining company, hotels, construction, insurance companies, a bottling company, a cigarette manufacturer, much real estate, and on and on and on. Are you always looking to acquire?
No. Some of the companies that you are telling there are not. Bottling was in 65 when I begin. I have a soft drink bottling. We are not in the bottling business more. We sold the tobacco business also to our partners. And we are concentrating because during these 45 years, depending on the circumstances, we were involved and we have the possibility to acquire some business. And with the time, we were focusing a little more in what we think have the more important potential and development and need more investments and management. Or some of these business get out of the line we were trying to put. No, we were involved because of, let's say in '82, there were a big crisis in Mexico, and that nobody was investing, and we invest in many, many areas. We invest in paper, we invest in tire for cars, we invest in auto parts and aluminum and copper conversion. And actually we are focusing, we sold a chemical operation, a tile business that we bought in '82 also, both of them. And we are focusing, like I was telling, in telecommunications, financing, mining, retail.
Do you have a favorite?
It's a good question.
That's why I asked it.
I address the one that have something to look at. No, that's my work. Today, my work has targets in mainly in all the foundations that are my biggest challenge. Really, at this age, at this time of my life, my challenge is using the foundations and some of the efforts of the companies try to make changes in our countries in Latin America. But by the profit business orientation, I am now focusing something in real estate developments, but mainly in mining. In the other areas of financing and telecommunications, I follow what is happening, but I am not in the board. I am not in the operation. I am not following the day-to-day things.
Did your father get to see your success?
No. No, my father passed away when I was 13 years old. I was very young. He already know that I make investments. He know what I were doing. He was very happy with this. I also he took us to, he opened a store to make us learn. His first company was opened in 1911. It was closed, I think, by circumstances in August of 29. He closed the business in August of 29. No, before the Depression. I think was not the reason. I don't think that he already know that it was coming. But I don't know why he closed the business in 29. I born in 1940. And he opened then something to try to teach us commerce. That was what he knows.
How many of there were you?
Excuse me?
Brothers, sisters, how many?
We used to be 6, 3 girls and 3 boys. I am the 5th. Now we are only living an older brother and me. We are only 2 now. And I have also 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls.
Do you raise your children the way your father was starting to raise you?
Yes.
And we'll ask about that. Still ahead, we're also going to take you inside Carlos Slim's home. Don't go away. Carlos Slim, the richest man in the world, his father emigrated to Mexico from Lebanon, right?
Yes.
So Slim is a Lebanese name?
I don't know completely the origin, the name. There are done some words to say what it means or where it is coming from, but it's the name of my father, my grandfather, and my grand-grandfather. And before that, I don't know.
Did your father marry a Mexican girl?
My mother born in Mexico, but was Lebanese in origin. She born in 1902, the same year that my father arrived to Mexico when he was 14 years old. It was a coincidence that he arrived in 1902 at 14 years, and my mother born in 1902 in Parral, Chihuahua, a state in the north of the country.
Was there early in life a big event that happened to you that turned you from millionaire to billionaire? Was there a major occurrence?
No, I think work and reinvestment, investment and reinvestment. My father used to say that the money that gets out of a company evaporates. That means that he was thinking in the reinvestment, investment, and reinvestment, and reinvestment. That is one of the things we do. Other things that we do is that in good times, we maintain austerity. When there are very profitable the business, we don't get crazy and putting expenses all around and making fancy things. So then we used to have our offices. We don't have corporate offices until now. We used to have them in the factories. The offices of the company were in the factories, not were in another corporative building. And I think that's the way it happened. The big things was very impressed in '82. I was already with many years, but it was a good circumstance because I have cash, I have size, and I can buy many things that were crazy because everyone was selling. Indeed, was a very difficult year when the external debt crisis came in our countries, but also, if you remember, the interest rate went to 21%, the prime rate. The inflation was 2 digits in U.S., and Paul Volcker, that was in the Fed, put the interest rate so high that everyone with a small debt has problems. And
what happened to you?
No, to the country, to our country that has a big debt. And the government, the president was already leaving, and he nationalized the bank system. And it was 3 months of great crisis. And it followed 83, 84, 85.
Here's the hardest thing for someone who has everything, is to not give your children everything.
Oh, I think when you say everything, you are talking about material things.
Yeah, in other words,
Oh,
the boy comes over, he sees wealth. A little boy says, Papa, give me $1,000.
When a little boy come to ask for $1,000, is that you already don't educate him well, because who can come to ask you $1,000 a boy to something? No. My children, well, I make many things. First of all, the 3 children sleep in the same bed. Not same bed, in the same room. And use the same bathroom, my 3 boys, and also my 3 girls in his area.
Why?
Because I think that they need to be each with the, well, they have only a few months, 14 months between each other, 15 months. They have a very tight, very near age. And, well, to live together. Not to have his own bed, his own bedroom, his own bathroom, his own everything, to know how to share, to know how to organize, to go to the bathroom one and then the other. And when they go with me, they go the 3 of them, and who will go in the front. And they organize to be 1 week each other. And to fight any problem between them. They can discuss, and they have many things in this, but never something important. And make love each other. That's very important. Make that each of your sons love each other. Because the best friend that they can have is each other.
Is it hard not to give to them, though?
No. When you are convinced what to do and what you need to do, it's not hard to do that, because you know that if you are giving something that is bad for them, bad for their education, bad for his happiness, it's not fair.
We'll talk about happiness in a minute. With the richest man in the world, the extraordinary Carlos Slim. We're honored to have him here. Don't go away. In January, he'll open the Samaya Museum. Here's a sneak peek of what it's going to look like. Most people probably imagine the richest man in the world lives in a grand and luxurious mansion. Carlos Slim opened the doors of his home to our Larry King Live cameras, and his lifestyle may surprise you. Watch.
Welcome to Mexico, and welcome to my home. I have near 40 years living here. That's interesting because we have the bedrooms. They used to be some downstairs, now they were upstairs, but now all my children are married. And this is where we get together. That's interesting because or you are in your bedroom or you are here together with all of us. No? That's a place to be together. Like you see, it's not so spacious. You cannot lose yourself here. I enjoy a lot more. Houses not so big, but gardens, places, trees, That's what I like more. To have spaces outside, outdoor.
You lost your wife a little while back, huh?
Yes, 99, 11 years ago. She
What?
was going to lose me because I was very sick in 97.
Why do you live so modestly?
It's not modestly. It's not modestly.
You could have a house 10 times the size.
And what I do with 10 times a house like this, I lose myself and everyone lose there. Like I say, I prefer the open spaces, the gardens, trees. And also, when you have a big place, you don't see your family, never. You don't meet each other. And my wife and me try to have this family live together, convivence, no? I don't know if you say that in English. What for you want a big space? What for you need a big space? When I was bachelor, my house was bigger, a lot bigger than this, and the house of my wife also was bigger than our house. I don't think that, and I don't have any interest to have something bigger.
Was your goal money?
Excuse me, where?
Was your goal to make money? Is that your goal?
Yes, I think it's not a goal. I think it's not the money the goal. The goal is to make companies grow, develop, be competitive, be in different areas, be very efficient, to have a great human team inside the companies, look for the human development of the people of the companies, because you cannot do anything without human capital, without your human team. We were talking about how many people work with us, but there are the managers that are critical to that has begin working in the company and grow and develop to achieve and success being in high-level management places. And now the goal is, well, by one side, I think that wealth should be reinvested to create more wealth. That there are the fruit of wealth is income. And it's important to develop the distribution of income. The distribution of income, it comes mainly by employment, and second by the money that go to the government, like taxes, and the investment of the governments, and the social expenses of the governments. And that's the equation, I think, is employment, but to have public money coming from the taxes we pay for health, education, and other circumstances for social support, but mainly the nutrition of the mother pregnant, the health, and the education. And that's very important, like a basis, like a fundamental. But at the end of the day, employment is the most important thing. And as much education you have, you are a better alternative. You are a better offer to have different jobs.
You're very involved in the education of the people, I know,
yes,
because
yes.
I spoke for all those students. You give scholarships every year, right?
Yes, yes.
Is it hard for you to see all the poverty in Mexico?
It's hard, but I am convinced that all this poverty in Mexico and in Latin America, like it's happening in China, is the opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity for investment, is an opportunity for economic activity, and to take out poverty is the best investment any country or people can do, or person can do in any place. Because poverty used to be an ethical issue, used to be social justice issue, but now it's an economic need. You need to integrate these people that are marginal and are in poverty. You need to integrate them to the modernity, to the economic, to the market. And that's very important because we have this potential to grow and to invest.
We'll talk about charity and Carlos Slim and art and Carlos Slim after this. We're back with the extraordinary Carlos Slim. We only have 1 hour to spend. We would look forward to many more. This enlightened, incredible human being on this planet and what he has brought to himself and to people around him. How much do you devote to charity?
Well, we make it not talking about a budget and say, well, this year we will spend $100 or $100 million. we try to find which are the problems that we need to attack, and then we put all the money that is necessary. The foundations, we have done donations, they should have now like $6 billion. But the important thing is the combination of the foundations with the companies in some programs, and the people that is volunteer to work in many things. And we don't put the money in the foundation because the Mexican foundations, we make not tax deductible the donations we have done.
Not tax deductible.
No, you can make it by a part, but the mainly donation has been not tax deductible what we have done. But when you have the money in the foundation, it can only expend in Mexico. They cannot use the money of the foundation outside Mexico. So that's why we have not put all the money there, because we want to do things in all Latin America mainly.
The whole area?
Yes, and we have programs, and we put in these programs all what is necessary. Let's say in the surgery, that we do surgery around the country. We begin with 2,000 in a few years ago, 15 years ago. Now we are doing 120,000.
Surgeries?
Surgeries. And we say that we will do as much as possible. That's a association with the National Academy of Surgery. The doctors put his time. The government in his health centers, and we put the tools, the materials, and the expenses to move and to travel from the doctors. No?
What about art? You're a vast collector of art. You're building an extraordinary museum named after your wife. It will open at the end of January. Were you always a collector?
Well, not always. My wife was very sensible to art. We're very sensible to everything, but especially with art. When we go, beginning in our honeymoon in '66, we went to Europe and we went to museums, and she stayed looking something, and I say, no, well, participate too, because she was feeling and looking and very, very deep what she was doing. And then I bought a collection of art, of Mexican art that was important, of colonial art. And after that, I began to look that in Mexico there were not museums with international art. Mainly was pre-Hispanic and colonial art and Mexican art. So I began to buy art from Europe that was on those times very, very accessible, not the prices that they have now. And we make the museum, I make the museum looking for the people, the Mexicans that cannot travel. They have this kind of art and in the country. We have 16 years with the museum, and now we are opening a new one.
And you have you have one of the great collections in the world, do you not?
Well, we have a good collection, I think. We have Impressionist, Old Masters. We have also many things like currencies, gold and silver of Mexico. It's a very
diversified.
Diversified.
We'll be back with Carlos Slim. What can we say? Don't go away. As we've discussed, Carlos has an impressive art collection. Take a look. We're back with Carlos Slim, who also maintains his childhood home. Here's a look inside.
Hello, Larry. That's my family home. It has like something like 65 years old, maybe a little more. See the ceilings, they have 70 years and we never touch painting or anything. That's a photo of my father when he was only 32 years old. Here is all the area for living together and for friends, and upstairs are the bedrooms. My wife and me prefer smaller houses. We prefer this house where you live, you stay alone in your room, but when you get out of your room, you get together with the family. That's my wedding a few years ago, like 44 years. This pianola there, that was, I play with that because you move your feet and it play alone. This library also has a table for pool, and this is me. I am the fifth of the family. They are my two older sisters, my two older brothers, and me. Now we still today have dinner every Monday with my children, and sometimes grandchildren come with us also when they are not going too early to the school. And I think that's the most important. Family and conversation, living together, enjoying together, getting in touch together very often. And I think it's more important that having a place where you lost yourself. And maybe because my wife and me have a bigger house when we were bachelors, sometimes when you don't have anything, you are looking to have things. And when you are looking to have things, you always ask for something more and more and more, and you get insatiable, no? With things. And I think that's a wrong way to live.
That house remains special to you.
Yes, we have this house from many years. My mother passed away in '84, and it is like it was 65 or 70 years ago.
You visited a lot.
Yes, I make sometimes lunch there, and sometimes I go there. We make Christmas also often there, and yes, I go there.
Do you need a lot of security? With all we hear about Mexico and violence and drugs, I mean, wouldn't you be a target?
Well, no one of my family or me has been has had problems of that.
None?
None of my children and myself, but we move with security, yes. But we can, I go to downtown and walk in the streets.
You drive a car? I
drive a car, yes. And you go to construction and to all these places, and you can do your life near normal. Your children go to the school. All the businessmen, most of the businessmen still living in our country and working in our country with our families. That is very important. Not.
Did your children go to public school?
No, go to private school.
Had to do that.
No, well, when it's basic education, regularly. I was in private school until high school. But then I go to the National University. That's a public school. That is great college. For me, the best, where you not only learn academic issues, but also you learn life.
Carlos Slim is known as the engineer, right?
Yes, civil engineer.
We're going to talk to him about baseball, which he is an enormous baseball fan, about life with all of that money, how you can adjust to it right after this.
I'm not sure it's the most important thing in the world.
Erie, Pennsylvania. This is good.
That's felt that we could create a quality airline. What would be? But I've enjoyed it, and it's a great business, but
No, it's not a toupee. It is not a comb-over.
don't mess it up too much.
No, it's not a comb-over.
But it
Could be pilot error.
That it would become this personal computer.
We just all just talk.
wait,
with me, Larry.
Carlos Slim is also a baseball fan. Long time?
Yes, when I was a very young, well, not a boy, a little boy, there were a great baseball in Mexico.
Mexican League.
The Mexican League, where there were, in the 40s, there were people from big leagues. There were also the Negro leagues playing in Mexico because they were not playing in U.S. They were really great players go through Mexico.
You are a Yankee fan, though.
Yes, can I take my jacket?
Yeah. Aha. I've had many thrills in my life. This is one of them. That you would take off your jacket and wear suspenders.
No, I admire you a lot. And I want to make it more near with you. And but you were telling me about the Yankees. Yes, was very little when I saw the movie of Baby Ruth. That was great, this movie of Baby Ruth. Then the other of Lou Gehrig with Gary Cooper. And it was Joe DiMaggio, and the radio was telling about and that was the time that Yankees and Dodgers made great World Series for many years. Cassie Stengel, and this time was fantastic.
Do you ever want to buy a ball club?
No, I prefer to enjoy. I think if you buy it, you will look it like a business, and you will not enjoy.
It would probably, it would become a business.
Yes, I prefer to enjoy.
Family is still the most important thing, right?
By sure.
By far.
By lot, by far.
So what motivates you when you have all you need, when you can buy anything you see? What motivates you? What keeps you going?
I think...
you don't ask the price of something, right?
No, yes, sure.
You do?
Yes, sure. I need to know what's happening. It doesn't matter that I am not going to buy. You need to be informed. But to think that happiness comes buying things is crazy. That happiness comes because you have many material issues, to have 20 cars or 30 cars or the last one and 40 watches. And I think that's not happiness. That's something that you are, when you are doing that, is that you have problems, that you are, I was telling in the video that this insatiability. It's like a boy, a little boy that have a toy and then give another toy. He will be happy with toys if you give them hot toys and toys and toys. The boys will ask for more and more, and they will not play with the toy. They will. That's not the way to see life. But also, I think that in professional area and in business, like a businessman, family is not an obstacle, it's a support. When people think that you go for family or for business or for family or to be a doctor or to family or be something, I don't think that they are incompatible. I think they are very complementary and supportive.
We'll have our remaining all too few moments with Carlos Slim following this. We're back with Carlos Slim. We have a few minutes left. We know one of your principal businesses, telecommunications. Yes. What's the future? Where is it all going? Television, telephones?
It's interesting.
Internet,
yes.
Where's it going?
Very good question. I think that we moved many years ago from the horse and the steamboat, or before the steamboat, from the horse and the sails, first to the steamboat and then to the sound, to the speed of light with telecommunications, and the speed of sound with the big the fast planes, and that's what changed completely the world. And this change came with a lot of technology. I think telecommunications is like the nervous system of the new society, of the new civilization. And what we are looking is that people get connected, that you can do a lot of things, not only because of the telecommunications, but it came together with the development of the computer that is a leverage for the brains and for the head. I think that we are living a great new society, a very important and generous, I will say generous and virtuous society, where the development and the economy is sustained by the welfare of the others.
Where is it all going, though? I mean, are you still investing in telecommunications?
Sure, yes. This year we will invest, next year we will invest $8.3 billion
in telecommunications.
Only in telecommunications. Because technology goes very fast. You need to be ahead, you need to be giving the best thing. And the good thing is that prices are going down. We are very proud that the mobile and cellular service, we have a penetration in Latin America of 90%. That's great, 90% penetration. It's near the same that US. Yeah. But now we need to do that in broadband.
You loaned the New York Times quite a bit of money. Do you still have faith in newspapers?
I think we need to make a difference between news and papers. I think paper is the tool, the way, the vehicle, and news is the content. I think that will be very important every day more to give the news and the content through electronic means, like I was telling about entertainment, and I was telling about
But we'll always need papers?
I should say yes, because I use paper. For me, it's difficult not to, but I think in the future, electronic will grow extraordinary, not in the future, it's growing extraordinary, and every time will be bigger, and the piece of the chair of the paper will be smaller and smaller.
I hope we can do this again.
I never do, like I love to be with you.
And I look forward to coming to see the opening of the new museum in Mexico in January.
We will be honored that you'll be there.
Carlos Slim. Al Pacino is here Monday night.